just another moment. She said, your time is short. Your time is short. Your time is short.
Hi guys, welcome to Underscore Your World, where we talk to random people about random things. I'm Brandon.
I'm Eric. So the song that you just saw was from Daniel Hilsinger. We will be talking to him later in the episode. We are currently here at Martin Luther King Civic Center Park in Berkeley, California.
We're here at the climate activist event hosted by the 350 Bay Area.
They're one of the many organizations that were here today as part of this rally. We spoke to some representatives of some of the other organizations. But before we get into that, we do want to say real quick,
Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're trying to get to the 100 subscribe mark to try to change our URL from whatever this is now to this kind of thing. If it's on the screen. If it's not on the screen, we're just trying to change our URL, trying to get to 100 subscribers. So make sure you guys like and subscribe.
just throw in a let's get into it.
So let's get into it.
You know I'll put it on the screen.
So this was kind of like a protest against that and getting some attention on the fact that they're not doing enough. My name is Kosti. I was born in Venezuela and moved to California about 10 years ago. So I'm the true stereotype of a Californian being an immigrant. I studied environmental policy in college. I graduated last year and I'm working in the field now, so pretty involved. I work and I volunteer all in the climate movement.
You're with 350 Bay Area. What is that?
350 Bay Area it's a national organization, but we also have our 350 Bay Area chapter, and we are an organization that focuses on climate action and climate justice. Specifically, I work with a mobilizing team, which is a youth-led team. I also work with like the decarbonizing team, which is like a campaign to decarbonize buildings. So like there's like a bunch of different specific teams. There's like energy, transportation, like all these different stuff. But I like this one because it's like youth-led, giving the youth a voice in this movement. And it's pretty cool because the youth like know how to get people hype, right, and know how to get people to show up and like to care about the issues that everybody should care about. Because it's like when like a 10-year-old kid tells you like, oh, you don't give a shit about my future, then it's like, oh, like that hurts, that like really stings, but it's like really true. So right. I think it's like a really good strategy to like get people involved.
What was the goal here? What were we trying to accomplish?
So COP26 is happening right now, which is like the kind of like a global conference, like global leaders on climate. If you're familiar with like the Paris Accord, that was COP like I think 21. So this is like 5 years later to like update those goals and stuff, but they're just kind of like, oh my god, like what can we do as global leaders? I don't know. And it's like kind of frustrating for everybody else because it's like you literally have the power to like change stuff around and you're not. They literally like tossed coins in like that Trevi fountain to like get good luck on this. And it's just like, dude, like you literally like have the power to do the thing. So it was just kind of frustrating for climate activists all around the world. So this is just like, we need to stop fossil fuels. We need to stop extraction of fossil fuels everywhere. We don't need like fake goals and like fake like 2050, like we'll be good by then. We just need like, we need to stop things now and we need to like revision what we want right now.
Okay, and so you guys did actually organize this event today?
I think it was more of a coalition of different organizations, but mainly 350, like bringing people together to show up today.
We have to say yes to publicly funded solutions like jobs for a just transition, care jobs, construction jobs for a new infrastructure that's fossil free. And we also have to say no to fossil fuels. And to do that, we have to take care of the people who are going to lose their job. My name is Bonnie. I've lived in this area since 1969. Now I live in Oakland. I work with the Democratic Socialists of America with the Green New Deal Committee, and that's what I'm doing here today, working with that. Working for a Green New Deal because we need to meet the emergency.
For anyone who doesn't know, can you tell us about the Democratic Socialists?
Sure. It's a national organization that's been around for decades. It's been around in I honestly can't remember the start date of it, but it grew out of some other socialist organizations, democratic socialist organizations, coming out of the 70s and even before. And with the 2016 run of Bernie Sanders, who is a democratic socialist, the organization picked up enormous steam. It had been a very small organization, and with that electoral run, thousands of people wanted to be part of it and wanted to go beyond just electing one guy for president, but actually getting things like Medicare for all, getting more public funding for free college education and ending college debt, and similar kind of policies. And so it's now an organization of close to 100,000 people, 90-some thousand people, who are working on the understanding that all of the things that we suffer from bad medical care, from student debt, from lack of abortion access, from all the things, including and not least of all the climate catastrophe, are because of the capitalist system, an economic system that requires the growth of an ever increasing sector of billionaires. And it's in a really bad place right now. And it's really preventing us from getting the climate action we need, because those billionaires, as we speak, are in Washington saying, no, we have to protect coal, and we won't defund all the subsidies that go to fossil fuels, and therefore we won't fund the kind of jobs that we would need in order to take care of the people that can't work in coal or oil and gas anymore. So that very powerful influence on our democracy makes it very difficult for us, the majority of people who want climate action. The majority of people are not denying climate catastrophe anymore. And so that billionaire class dominance is making it very difficult, and that's what we're fighting. The thing that unites us all is that we believe in a working class movement. We believe in a multiracial movement to challenge the billionaires that keep all the things that we're doing, make those things so difficult, because they have a different interest than we do.
The goal is for a revolutionary people to come forward who are part of the vanguard, right? And then to organize thousands and then millions of people behind changing the mode of production. My name's Magda. I'm a revolutionary communist. We're calling for a full revolution. We don't believe that the current set of reforms are going to go anywhere in time for us to save the planet. So we believe that capitalism is the larger systemic problem to this, and that you can't work within the system and expect to change anything. We don't have time, actually, to wait for reforms to happen. All of this stuff that's going on in Glasgow right now, it's essentially like a shell game, right? So one of the big programs that people are calling for is net zero, which is essentially a program where big corporations continue to use fossil fuels with a promise in the future to somehow offset it. So this is complete bullshit, right? And so the only sort of solution that's possible is for us to have a new mode of production, which is communism. So we are we're going to overthrow the U.S. government. That's our intention, right? To change the mode of production. So we need people's help to do that, obviously. And so that sounds a lot kind of outlandish to a lot of people, right? But it's actually not, right? Like, there's been revolutions throughout history and modes of production that have changed.
When you say mode of production, is there a specific example that you can give?
Sure. So slavery was a mode of production, right? And then the Civil War happened, right? And then sort of capitalism came in after slavery, right? And so right now we're in capitalism. And so the next step is communism, right? And we have absolutely no other choice at this point because the way that things are headed and the lack of action by governments, like, in fact, the system depends on the environment being exploited. So all of these promises for reforms and so on and so forth, they're not actually compatible with capitalism continuing to exist. And all these governments, like, the system has an investment in going the way that it's going, right? So they can't actually change it, right? It's not like a lot of people are like, oh, corporations, right? Like these individual greedy people, right? Like the chaos of capitalism and the competition that's built in within it actually depends on the destruction of the environment. So you can't substantively change it, right? Like it just can't actually happen. So all of this, like sort of sunrise and so on and so forth, this is all anchored within an idea about reform, right? Like, and so we don't think, well, we know that reform isn't going to go anywhere, right? So this is why we're calling for revolution.
Fire, they burn, they rage, mothers angry, we have eternity.
My name is Daniel Ray Hilsinger, and yeah, where do we start? I guess to keep it as brief as possible, 5 years ago I was diagnosed with bone cancer when I was 29, and I'm really grateful to be here and be alive today. And that experience just drastically, the fact that I'm alive, that I have my leg, that I can walk is a blessing. So every day that I wake up is a blessing. You know, every day that I see the sun is a blessing. And 5 years ago is when I started to I decided to start learning guitar for the first time. It's something I always wanted to do in my life, but I never made time for. And so that's one pitch for everybody out there is, you know, we never know what's next. We never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I would just say, don't wait. Like, follow your joy. Go for whatever that thing is. You know, if you can. It's hard in this system, and I see that too. But and that's when I started singing too in the hospital and writing songs. And so since then I've organized for healthcare justice. I've organized for climate justice.
What are your views on the climate change and everything that they're discussing?
Just like doing what you love, or doing anything. The more you do that thing, it's going to create more space in your life for that, right? And I care deeply about my life. I care deeply about your life. I'm just meeting you and your life and all of y'all's life and all of life, like this grass that I'm on. Because without this grass and without this air and without these trees, like, I'm not here. I'm not here.
Right.
So it just doesn't make I don't even care what you, like, just from that level, I don't understand why people can't relate on that level. Like, if you care about you wanting to be alive, you can be as selfish as or just your kids, or just your family. You don't care about anybody else. Even if you just care about those people, you should care about this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the song that you sang earlier, I didn't catch the name of it, but you said it was about the wildfires?
Yeah, it's about, so basically I live here in California, and the past couple of years, fires have just gotten worse and worse and worse. Worse and worse and worse. Every year it's worse. A couple of years ago it was like a month of smoke. Just literally you go outside and it's not clouds, it's smoke. And you're breathing smoke. And then it was a month and a half. And last year it was 3 months of smoke. 3 months. So almost a quarter of the year, smoke. And it was terrifying. I mean, I almost was gonna move because of that. Because just for my health, because I'm, in a unique situation, and just what I've learned about health and our bodies and how we function in this world, and how our bodies want to thrive. Breathing smoke for 3 months isn't good. Neither is breathing pollution for any period of time or anything. But and so yeah, that song I think just eventually came from that experience of experiencing these fires and witnessing a lot of loss and change, and yeah, that's kind of where it came from.
What would you say are some things that people watching or anyone who wants to get involved can do day to day in their own normal lives?
Join an organization. Like there's 350, there's Sunrise, there's XR. Like there's just something for everyone. Like if you're more gnarly and like want to like jump like in a bridge and like do some cool stuff, like there's organizations for that. If you want to like do art, there's organizations for that. I think you just need to like get out there and join them. The community around this is so supportive that like if you start just like recycling at home, you'll get burnt out and sad because it's not going to make a difference. But if you like get your whole community to be like, like we should do something about it, then it's like way more empowering. So yeah, my recommendation is to join an organization, whatever your skills are. So if interviewing people is your skills, then like, try to get us in on it. So like try to use your skills to like join the movement in whatever shape or form that looks like.
Okay, so you can go to revcom.us or YouTube/the Revcoms and watch the RNL show, and you can get more of a sense about what we're about. And so then when you do that, get in touch with us, and you can join the Revolution Club in your city.
Is there like a website or anything?
Yes, absolutely. Democratic Socialist of America. Google it and you'll get the national website, or you could go to East Bay Democratic Socialist of America to get our local East Bay, or same thing, DSASF would be the San Francisco chapter.
And so is there anything else that you kind of want to add, or anything you feel like you need to say that I didn't ask?
It's really frustrating when you're marching and people are on the sidewalk and they give you the thumbs up or like they record you. I kind of hate that. I don't think it's supportive at all. I think you either join or you look information up or you do something, but like standing on the sidelines and giving us a thumbs up, it's kind of crushing. So get up and do something, even if it's little, like it will make a difference.
And is there anything else that you want to say before we wrap it up?
Well, thanks for listening, and anything you can do to help spread this word, we're very grateful for.
So there you have it. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to interview all of the different organizations and all of the different people here today. We did
like to point out that we did try to make a change on a petition we signed for more solar panels here in California.
He's a very strong proponent for solar. He's trying to get it in our van at the moment. But yeah, if you agree with these views and these issues that have been brought up today, definitely check out the list of different organizations that you might be able to join in your area. Hopefully here on the screen.
And we went to the Jelly Belly factory. I got a pin that I'm still holding, so Jelly Belly. It's a cool place.
We have pictures on Instagram. Until next time.
Thanks, guys.